All right, so this is a flip through and review of the NFL Blitz strategy guide. This one covers the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. So it was put out by Brady Games. This is the official strategy guide. Got Kordell Stewart on the cover. That is Kordell Stewart. He was actually the cover athlete. There's an interview with him in here. So I'm going to flip through. I'll read a few things, but I'm going to go through each page so you can see what's in the book. So this is a strategy guide. Here you got the contents, introduction, training camp, playbook, the teams, interview with Kordell Stewart, secret codes, and then just a bunch of legal stuff. So NFL Blitz, a new football brand. So here what they do is they go through and tell you about the rules that Midway created. Midway has a way of taking a sport and they're creating their own rules within it. So that's what you see up here, NFL Blitz versus the NFL. First down and 30 yards to go. So first downs are 30 yards instead of 10. Only 7 players per side. No need for timeouts. No stepping out. You can't step out, but you can definitely jump out of bounds. Pick your play and fast. No sudden death overtime, which is cool, which is something the NFL has implemented. But yeah, you play through a full overtime, the full 2 minutes, which is usually what it's on for arcade mode. But yeah, Midway just has a knack for creating its own rules within a sport, does a great job with it. So training camp, it really just tells you spin move, dive, stiff arm, just how to do the basic moves of the game. There you got super hurdle move, lateral. The jump throw can be effective. Green Magic is one of the people you see on this channel. He's really good at using that move as far as NFL Blitz on the N64. Send a player in motion, extra blocker, dive tackle. So this is some basic stuff. Onside kick, this one's key. A lot of people don't know how to do that. You hold up on the D-pad and then press turbo plus pass plus jump. So you got to do all that at once. You might need to do that at the end of a game if you were down by a score. Special stuff, hidden play select, that's good for when you're playing a human opponent. You can just hit up twice on the play select screen and hide your icon. So then you got some more stuff here. Increase interceptions. It tells you to jump near the pass, which you'll do when the ball's in the air. You have to actually let go of the turbo button. Loose balls, press jump and turbo for balls knocked in the air. Now, one of the things that I got the strategy guide for is the big question mark is how much do the player ratings and attributes matter in NFL Blitz? And we'll see if that question is answered later when we get to the teams. So here it's just more about the double pass. Is something that the XFL, that's now not happening, tried to implement, which is a cool thing. You just basically throw the ball a couple times if you're behind the line of scrimmage. It's a cool little thing added to NFL Blitz. So way ahead of its time on that play right there, the double pass. The blocking help, that's something that might be of use. And then here, this is kind of cool. It tells you the difference between the PlayStation versus the Nintendo 64. There are some differences, so I'll just read those. The PlayStation version has cool motion video cuts. We all know that's because the PlayStation was CD technology and the N64 was cartridge. N64 has a play editor that enables you to create your own plays and execute them in the game. PlayStation has a tournament mode which allows you to compete with up to 7 other people in a single elimination tournament. Of course, you can easily do this with the N64 version on your own. PlayStation version has longer load times but faster gameplay. That I can attest to. You'll see that mostly with NFL Blitz 2000. It has major frame rate issues on Nintendo 64. This strategy guide is covering the original NFL Blitz. The game runs pretty smooth on N64 for the original one, but for Blitz 2000 there is an issue with that, which I also do have that strategy guide, so I will go through that at some point. PlayStation version also has a theater option that enables you to view full motion video, and those are the differences that they highlight. There might be some other ones, but those are the ones the strategy guide highlight there in 5 bullet points. So here you got the playbook. This can be helpful for people who don't really understand NFL Blitz and running plays in football. It just gives you a general idea, and it actually goes through each play in the game, both offensively and defensively. So I'll just read the first one so you can get an idea and then just flip through them. So we'll look at the uppercut play. The breakdown is the right receiver runs around the back of the offensive line to the left side and cuts up the field. The slot receiver slants across the middle of the defense for a quick short pass to the left receiver, runs up the field in a zigzag pattern. And then it says at the bottom here, try this with some screenshots. When playing the man cover defense or a deep zone, roll out to the right or left and turbo down for some good yardage. The right side may provide you with consistently better gains. And then it says right here, throw lateral to your right receiver. If the left receiver is open, immediately hit him for 15 to 20 yard play. So it goes through each play like that. Some of it's pretty self-explanatory. If you played the game, it's not going to help you that much. But like I said, if you're new to the game or you're trying to figure out what it's all about, it's utilizing these plays to the best of their ability. And there's a lot of variables in NFL Blitz because some of the rules they created, like the double pass, the lateral, some of the flexibilities that you don't have in other football games. So the possibilities are endless within the gameplay of NFL Blitz, which is why it is one of the best arcade football games ever made. So just flipping through these plays here. Back split I like. It's a good one to see, like if they're playing man defense or not. You could sometimes hit one of those running backs open. I love the dog hook too because you can make the running back get the ball and throw a pass. This one is one that's underutilized, the HP block. Again, I'm bringing up Green Magic. He likes to use this play. Basically, you get an extra blocker on this one, which, you know, the game's called NFL Blitz, so there's a lot of blitzing defenses, and the user defender might also do it. This will give you some more time to run around, decide if you want to run with the quarterback or get one of those receivers open. Here you go. You got slant right, slant left. This one I don't use too much. This reverse zip right here, you know, tells you it's a reverse play trying to keep the defense off guard. Another one I don't use too often. The bomb, that's one that people use a lot. It's a great play. Usually just roll this to the left and try to hit one of those receivers on a slant. Here's another one with some deep routes. This one spreads them out a little bit better. If you could get this guy on the right side. Sub-Zero is a good one. You could try to hit this receiver real quick and make him throw a pass. So I do use that play often. This one's pretty good if you move this guy in motion. So then you got the defense. The safe cover is pretty much the standard. Because it allows you maximum flexibility, you're going to use this guy a lot of the time. That's where you're going to start off as. And you could go back for extra coverage, kind of play safety with 3 guys coming in or come in on the blitz. So when in doubt, the safe cover defense is always going to be a viable option, no matter what. Goal line, obviously, when you're closer, but also if you want to bring some heat. Your opponent's closer to the goal line, use that. 2-man blitz, a little bit riskier, but if you're going to try to tackle the quarterback and not let him get outside, if they keep hitting you on that, you might want to mix some of those in, but you can't just keep going back to that one. The medium zone is all right, but I feel like it leaves the middle way too open. And sometimes it doesn't cover the deepest guys well enough. Suicide blitz is exactly what it says. You just blitz right in there. Everyone's blitzing. You're taking a huge risk. The deep zone, obviously, if it's like you got them on a couple blitzes, it's like 3rd and 40 or 3rd and 25, something like that. That's a good one to go to, but there's a lot of holes in it. The 1-man blitz, this one is, if you want to get a little bit of pressure and you want to play coverage yourself, this is a good one to go to because you get that computer blitzing in and you could go back in coverage yourself. The near zone is one of my favorites. I feel like this is the best zone to play. It just covers the field well. Also, you know, quarterback running is a huge part of the game in NFL Blitz, and this one does a good job containing the quarterback on each side. So the near zone is one of my favorites to play. Zone blitz is another one. You just got 2 guys back, 2 guys in. It's a little bit riskier. You're going to leave a lot open, but if you want to bring some pressure with decent coverage, you can run that. And then it just tells you about special teams. And then the play editor. So this is an N64 version only. Now, I didn't go to each game to verify that, but I'm going to trust the strategy guide on this one. That's what it says. Now, the NFL teams. Let's see. Does this guide tell you how good the players are or not? Let's see. First team, Patriots. As you can see, the ratings, this is nothing the game won't tell you. The inside, it says overall 7.8 out of 10. Not sure where they're getting that from, but the inside slant is kind of like the quick breakdown of the team. Explosive offensively with Drew Bledsoe leading the team, although the linemen are a little weak. On the defensive side of the coin, few teams can match up with the Patriots. Their only downside, special teams. And here is where you would hope to see player ratings, but it doesn't give you that. It gives you their name, what college they went to, the year's pro, and their stats. So it's kind of cool to look at, but it doesn't tell you anything about the players. It doesn't really even give a breakdown. It's cool that the stats are in there. It's kind of like if you were to collect the trading card games for all the players in NFL Blitz, not trading card game, but, you know, collectible cards to look at their stats. It's all right here for you. You even got Adam Vinatieri here on the Patriots. Made all his field goals. So I'm just going to flip through these because what I was hoping to see, I don't see here. So it just gives you the breakdown. I'm going to flip through it, so in case you want to pause the video at any point and look through this, it's here for you. Colts, Peyton Manning as a rookie. They're not rated good in the game. Here he is, the cover athlete, Kordell Stewart. He had a huge game. He's like the modern day, Taysom Hill, except he did transition to a quarterback. When he's first on the Steelers, he's kind of wide receiver and quarterback on trick plays. But he ended up having some great seasons with the Steelers as their quarterback. This is one of the better Jacksonville Jaguars teams with Mark Brunell, Fred Taylor, even James Stewart as running back, Jimmy Smith. The Oilers, Air McNair and company, Eddie George. The Tennessee Oilers, I believe that was. The Bengals, Jeff Blake, Corey Dillon. But yeah, when you're playing the game, it really doesn't feel a ton like there's a difference between the players, which you think would make it not as fun, but there's just, there's just a redeeming quality to NFL Blitz and the way you could hit people, the speed that the game moves at, the way you could whip the ball all around behind the line of scrimmage, have the receivers throwing it. It just makes it a fun game to play despite that. Now, when I did go to the Galloping Ghost in Brookfield, Illinois, to go to the NBA Jam Day, which I played in a tournament in, one of the things I wanted to ask is about NFL Blitz and if the players had ratings, but none of the guys there really worked on the game a ton to know that. The guy that might have been able to answer my question is Mark Turmel, and he was one of the guys that didn't end up showing up. Though they did have a good showing, he wasn't one of the guys there, so no one was able to answer that question. Because at that point, I already looked at the strategy guide, and I saw that the information that I was looking for was not in here. So this is more, this is just like a fun look through what I was going through before with the plays and the different button combinations of things you could do in the game. That's way more useful than any of this. Aikman and Smith on the Cowboys. Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre, Dorsey Levens, Robert Brooks. Tampa Bay, when they had Trent Dilfer, Warwick Dunn, Mike Allstott, just punishing people. I would say like NFL Blitz is one of my favorite football games of all time, even though it's arcade. But definitely still give the nod to Tecmo Super Bowl because you can see and feel the difference in the player ratings, and they show you the player ratings in the game as opposed to NFL Blitz, which doesn't seem to have any of that. But that is a question for another day that we will figure out one day. Eric Kramer leading the Bears, Curtis Conway and company. Oh, R-Dub. Steve Young, Garrison Hurst, Jerry Rice, J.J. Stokes. It's like before T.O. Or he just didn't make the cut in the game. Oh, Kevin Green, linebacker for the Panthers. Some of these are a little bit harder to see. You could see on the blue text. New Orleans Saints. Billy Joe Hobart. The Rams a little bit before they're the greatest show on turf. And there you see all the teams there and their conferences. And here's the interview of Kordell Stewart I was talking about. So I'll just read you the first question, just so you can get a feel for it. What video game systems do you have? What are your current favorite games? Besides sports titles, what else do you like to play? And Kordell says, I enjoy playing all types of video games. I currently own an NFL Blitz arcade game, Sony PlayStation, and Nintendo 64. In addition to sports video games, I enjoy anything that features action adventure. That's why I enjoy playing NFL Blitz, because it combines both elements. I'm going to say, based off that answer, he doesn't actually play video games, because he would have been able to come up with something. So this appears to be nothing more than a good marketing piece for the game that was written by Brady Games on both ends, but maybe he said some of this stuff. But yeah, there it is if you want to read through it. And here are the secret codes. I'm not huge on secret codes. All I care about is tournament mode, but Midway gives you tons to tinker with to make the game more fun and just have more replay value trying out these different codes. So here they are. This is all information that is on the internet that you could find these codes, but here it is in picture form. It tells you all the codes. Sorry, there's a little bit of, I noticed there's a little bit of light glare on this the whole time, but here's the secret codes. And flipping through this, I noticed here on the right side, there's a few PlayStation only codes, and then one N64 only. It says just LT. So I don't know if that's Lawrence Taylor's face or what the deal is there, but and then the PlayStation only codes are unidentified ball carrier, invisible receiver, and Super Blitz. There are those codes, and then finally in the back here, it's just secret characters. Of course, you got Mark Turmel. I mean, developer. You got to put him in. And looks like they got a skull brain. I'm just looking at the thug. That looks kind of weird. Raiden is one we put into the arcade cabinet on NFL Blitz 2000 and played that before. So there it all is as far as the hidden characters. And then there's some more down here. So you just put in basically those initials or name and that pin number. And here's the back cover. Looks like they paid $11.96 at Walmart. I think I got this for under $10 with shipping. For what I've paid for these, all pretty much under $10 with shipping, it's worth that. It's a good time capsule with all these strategy guides coming out. It's a good flip through. The information that's in there, though, unless you're new to the game, I would say you probably don't need it, but it's cool to look through. But now it's in video form, at least on YouTube, on the channel, so people can look at it themselves. I would say overall, it's an interesting strategy guide. It didn't have the exact information I was looking for. I was really hoping that I could get some player ratings in the strategy guide because it exists nowhere in the game. Games like on the Nintendo that came out where you can feel the difference even though the ratings aren't there on display in the game, are games like RBI Baseball and the original Tecmo Bowl. You could tell that the players either like throw the ball faster or run faster than other players based off, you know, the ratings or the attributes that they gave the players in the game. And that's what I was hoping to see in this NFL Blitz strategy guide, but it's not there. So there it is, NFL Blitz official strategy guide. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more of these, let me know. I got probably about 4 more of these that I will do. And then if this is something people like, I'll try to acquire some other ones that have existed throughout the years. I think the only strategy guide that I ever bought was Warzone for the PlayStation. And you actually needed it to do some of the special moves. They didn't have the move list for all the moves, including the finishers weren't there. So you kind of needed the strategy guide. So, hey, that's one way to sell the strategy guides if you can't do the Stone Cold Stunner or the Tombstone without that. And that was like, you know, early internet days. So there was no guarantee that you were going to get that information on the internet. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you later and take care.